You want to do an intro? Hello, everybody, and
Sure.
welcome to another episode of Cypher Sistas. I'm going to pass it off to my sister Rachel Saylor. Go ahead.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing? It's good to see everybody. Welcome to another episode of Cypher Sisters. Hello. Where we talk about all things women and all things cannabis. And we are really happy that you guys are joining us this week. As you can see, this is the new time because life be life and this is the time that we have available. And we want to say
Out for everybody.
exactly.
Go ahead.
Exactly. No. You said it, you said what I was gonna say. It works out. So I see you drinking a smoothie. What's that?
I mean, this is plain old smoothie. I didn't put no
You can share with the audience. They might want some healthy smoothie ideas. You never know.
All right, so each week I go to the store and I buy these frozen fruit. And I just bag them. I get like sandwich bags and make my own little smoothies.
Nice.
And then over the week, I can just unzip the little sandwich baggie, throw my smoothie into a thing, and then boom. And I got a magic bullet too, so I ain't even got to mess up my whole blender. Yeah, one of them little smoothie makers.
And you see, fine. Look at that. You don't even have to. You just shared a little like a little hack for people who, because I never would have thought of doing that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, instead of paying for the smoothie, pre-measure your smoothie instead of paying for these smoothies that are ridiculously priced. And if they're pre-measured in the bags, they're usually, because at Whole Foods, I think I can get it for like $12. But you know how many bags of fruit I can buy for $12? 6.
Exactly.
Because they're like $2 a piece. I mix them together and so every morning I can have a smoothie.
Exactly.
So,
and
I love it.
For the cost of 2 smoothies, you just got a week full of smoothies and probably less sugar. And you know what everything that's going
everything
into
is in there. Yep, I know exactly what's in it. So
that's how I feel too, though.
I like knowing what's in my food.
Going to smoothie places, I prefer to do my own, but sometimes I be like, I always do the same smoothie. So I like that you got your little mixes.
I did some like today. I have berries in there. I have blueberries. I got some peaches, some banana, a couple of chunks of mango, and some pineapple.
Nice. Sounds good. That sounds like my go-to minus the banana.
Yeah. Well, see, and I love banana in the smoothie just because it thickens it up and it gives. And I need potassium. I need that potassium in my life because I'm potassium deficient. So it helps.
Okay. You know what's crazy? I love green banana only, and that is thank you to Pop. Other than that, I do not like banana. Right?
A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. So, yeah, man. Yeah. So what you smoking on? So if I'm popping out a joint, a spliff, this is Jack Carrar.
Yeah, I definitely had that before.
Yeah, I have to think. Is it really Jack? Have I opened up my Jack? Yes, it's Jack. Yeah, I got my little situation over here where I got a couple of different strands that I can try out.
So,
what's up?
I tried gumbo. I don't know if you guys know about gumbo. Is a strain by a Black-owned husband and wife.
Ooh.
It's a brand and a strain, and I would say gumbo is worth the hype because they've been hyping it up a lot, and it's worth the hype. It was nice. I don't have that today. That was yesterday.
Okay.
And yesterday was a crazy day, and I will say that gumbo definitely helped to make it easier. I felt energized. Although they say it's a sleepy. The first time, all right, so I did it twice. I did it Monday. I will say it did contribute to me feeling like a little lethargic.
Okay.
But I was tired, so I can't tell. Because then Tuesday, when I smoked it, it didn't make me tired. You know what I'm saying? It definitely was contributing to the creativity, because I had a lot of work to do yesterday. So I don't know.
You got to get some more and try it again.
Yeah, I got to try it again. Today, though, I'm doing monster cookies. That's of course, a hybrid 80-20 split, 80 indica, 20 sativa. and it's a cross between Girl Scout cookies and Granddaddy Perp. You can
Okay.
do that because it is purple. You know I love that. And it's 21% THC.
Okay. I think we both on the purple joint.
Yeah, I love me some purple. You know that. You already know that.
That's my shit right there, the purple.
And it's funny because the lemon cherry, platinum lemon cherry that I had last week that I was telling you about, it also presents kind of purple.
Okay.
And it's really like the terps are very that I want to say that might be one of my favorite strains that I have partaken of thus far.
The platinum lemon cherry?
Platinum lemon cherry goes on my top 20 list.
So lemon cherry gelato, is that the same thing or is it something different?
I don't know.
Because lemon cherry gelato.
Because when I looked it up, it came up as platinum lemon cherry gelato. It came up as platinum lemon cherry gelato.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I may have to go get me some monkey berries. That goes off of what I wanted to talk about, but yeah, monkey berries.
What monkey berries?
What I was looking for was my strain, so I could pull it up.
Oh,
and tell you guys about Jack.
You got distracted?
I did. I totally did.
Excuse me, everyone.
So this is Jacaranda. All right, that's the strain.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, we've got it's a piney, and it's supposed to be energetic. So I've been bouncing around kind of most of the day. 18% THC, 1% CBG. And yeah,
that's good.
Yeah,
CBG is one of those rare cannabinoids, so it's good.
Yeah,
anytime you have a strain that has naturally occurring CBG, that's always a plus because entourage.
Oh yeah.
The entourage effect.
Yes, man. We're gonna talk more about
that's how those cannabinoids do their best work in your body. Collaborating with each other.
So look, I was talking to Pop this weekend, and he was so excited because he went to the store and he bought him some Delta 8 THC. I was like, Dad, I know it looks like bud, but you have to understand what you're putting in your body. And that is not what we should be doing. So, one day I'm going to let you nerd out and tell us why that Delta is some bullshit.
Well,
I know you've nerded out before about the CBN and yeah.
I did. When we talked about synthetic cannabinoids, I did talk about Delta 8 and have a nerd out moment. So definitely we can show him that episode again.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and send it to him because he's tripping.
But I didn't know Pop was having using that. Definitely, I'm kind of disappointed because he's so knowledgeable. Like, remember the plants he used to grow?
I mean, yeah, they were taller. Yeah.
Okay. So he should know, but
he should know a lot better. But yeah, I was like, don't smoke that no more.
Yeah.
And then I convinced him to try to figure out how to get a license.
And he should have been do that.
Yeah, talk to our sister.
He can't. We can talk to him off this call. We'll call him together and see what we can do
and work out. Yeah.
Sorry, y'all. We're talking family biz on the show. My bad.
I was just disappointed. My dad started smoking that damn Delta 8, and I was like, "Yo, what you?"
I know. I'm disappointed too, but I guess he's trying to figure out
a way that he can do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he definitely to get a card.
He needs a card. I'm gonna help him get a card. We're gonna figure out this card thing for him. But so look, a couple of things I wanted to talk about in we did our intro, we did our strain, so I'm gonna talk about a couple of things happening in Ledge, right?
Yeah.
So the DOJ, the Department of Justice, for those who don't know the acronym, is appealing a federal judge ruling that struck down the ban on possessing guns for cannabis consumers. I didn't know that ban even fucking existed.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know you couldn't smoke cannabis and have a weapon.
Yeah, when you register for your license, your medical license, they cross-reference that with gun licensing, and you can't.
But they didn't do that shit for me. I'm just saying in general, like that shit is crazy.
I thought you knew that.
Nah, man. All right. So Oklahoma votes no against cannabis, right? 349,000.
Wow.
61% of that vote when it said no. Only 38.32 said yes. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy.
They tripping out here, man. They just trying to regulate everything and everything about everybody's life. And it just don't make no damn sense to me. It makes no sense at all. Another thing that I wanted to mention was a new congressional budget office analysis says that veterans marijuana research bill advancing in the Senate and would have a negligible cost. So they're making it more attractive, right? So we'll see, but that may also
what
fail.
You talked about last week with veterans, they're looking at being able to get cannabis for treating
veterans. So everything. So they were forming a research group to check out on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now because of the government, they have to go through the Office of Budget too to make sure we can pay for this. And so that's where it's sitting right now in the Office of Budget. So we'll see what happens when it comes back.
I mean, but all the taxes from the revenue of cannabis.
But every state doesn't have that tax. You know what I'm saying? And we're looking at
then that should push for legalization on a federal level, even.
Yeah. So if they do it on the federal level, but Biden is kind of pushing.
But what's crazy is we need to care more about our veterans and our military because they are doing the work of protecting the freedoms of this country. I do not care. I know I sound like I'm not in it for the government. I'm talking about the actual soldiers who are giving their lives, who are giving their sanity and come back completely blown.
And you realize that only 1.6% of Americans go into the military. So we're putting this huge burden on such a small group.
Exactly. And not offering them no type of resources or benefits to acclimate back into society after the time for war is over.
Exactly, except for a state like Arizona. So Arizona approved a bill to make medical cannabis registrations free for military veterans and to add a new qualifying condition to the program. So yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love
it. There are places out there that are saying, this is ridiculous and we really need to focus on this. Oh, so look, in Massachusetts, I meant to mention this, bankruptcy laws. You don't have bankruptcy rights if you are a cannabis dispensary seller or anything. That's something else we need to fix. So here's the problem. What people don't realize is that the fact that a lot of people are starting these dispensaries with their own money or startup monies and stuff like that. They can't get small business loans. They can't get approved for those types of things.
Yep.
Because they're not looking at cannabis because there's no banking system that supports it.
Exactly.
So that banking system.
And when the amount of money they sink into the businesses waiting for the licensing to come through, okay, there's so many factors. Of course, there's a high chance of you having to file for bankruptcy at the beginning of your business because your business success depends on a lot of factors that are out of your damn hands.
Yeah, and it's some bullshit in real life.
It really is. It really is
bullshit in real life, and so I feel bad for those folks. So yeah. This Massachusetts man is going to have to, bankruptcy is not going to protect him. So he's kind of shit out of luck. And that's that bullshit right there, And we need to really look into that. Louisiana's not even trying to have, and where's Louisiana thing? Because that was kind of a big deal as well. We'll come back to Louisiana. Yeah. Oh, did you see the article in the New York Times from Woody Harrelson?
No.
All right. So he said that is probably no more helpful than alcohol and that he's addicted to it.
He said what?
Marijuana is probably no more helpful than alcohol. So he's ignorant to everything. And then he says he's addicted to it. I was having the same conversation.
That's mad funny because Woody Harrelson was like the hemp guy when I was growing up. I remember him being cannabis, hemp, an activist. So for him to now turn around and be this ignorant,
it's scary.
It's funny to me.
Yeah.
What is his agenda? What's he pushing?
I don't know. Something he's probably gonna market and sell.
Because I don't really. Anyways,
Yeah,
we could talk about Woody Harrelson as just adding to that whole cannabis
stupidity. Yeah.
CUD. But we'll talk about that after when we get into the nitty gritty.
Nah, I mean, I think that's all the airtime I'm giving Woody.
Oh yeah, no. I ain't even talking
Oh.
about him specifically. I'm talking about his attitude.
Oh yeah. Those people. Those people. And that's all I got in the ledge, honey.
All right. Well, we can then just quickly hop over to hot topics. It's funny because I talking about the cannabis industry because that's what most of these legal nuggets were about. What's happening in the industry, and as it pertains to the laws. And another trend that's happening in just overall in the industry of Black entrepreneurs is that venture capital funding for Black entrepreneurs has plummeted 45% in 2022. I don't know what the numbers in 2023 are. So there was like a skyrocket during the time when George Floyd was murdered. Mm-hmm. And then I guess now that Black lives have mattered enough to people, the venture capitalists are not funding Black entrepreneurs anymore at the rate that they were funding us. And it's really sad. It's really sad because we have some of the best ideas. Like, you know what I'm saying? We have some of the best. We've solved so many damn problems and invented so many things. The audacity for us not to be funded.
Well, it looks like everybody forgot about us, right? Biden forgot about us.
Always like that.
Yeah, everybody forgot about us. So they'll jump behind the board and do the march with us, and then they disappear back into their homes because it's not affecting them as it affects us. Racism is something that we deal with on a daily basis. They don't understand that. Like just the attitudes of trying to rent a place or whatever, trying to buy a place or anything. Their attitudes still look at us like we're second-class citizens. These colonizers are still looking at us as second-class citizens. And until they consider us equal, they're not going to fight for us. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame, but they're still not going to fight for us.
Yep. And it was like, it just talked about like what you said, like navigating the process of even pitching yourself to funders and VCs, right? The bar is way higher for a Black entrepreneur versus a white entrepreneur. They expect you to have, almost perfection. Yeah. Versus like the white guy can just come with his idea. He's in the idea phase and they're open to funding this person. You got to be in the round 3, round 4 of funding to even be considered. You know what I'm saying? And it's just funny. But yeah, just thought everybody should know, Black entrepreneurs, you definitely need to, you don't need to do anything but be brilliant and awesome, but be mindful that you're going to have to
our own people.
Exactly. We're going to have to
build ourselves up.
We have to find other, like, I know that Nas has a venture capital firm.
Okay.
I don't know of, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I don't know, that's something I'm gonna research, Black venture capitalists, because I don't know very many. I don't know of very many. But that's because they need to really be pouring back into their people. But
we gotta hold our people accountable too. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been letting people get away for years. We got to hold them accountable as well.
Agree. So Erykah Badu, she is in honor, and it's perfect because today is International Day of the Women. Happy Women's History Month also, and happy International Day of the Women, which I was going to talk about at the end of the show because I was going to do something. But neither here nor there, Erykah Badu launched her new cannabis brand in collaboration with Burner and Cookies. Her brand is called Apple Trees, but the line, me too, right? The line is called That Badu. The strain is called That Badu. And she also has like a high-end line of accessories. There's like one bong that looks like a woman's body. It's super cute. Like it's real cute. Y'all should go check it out.
You saw it. What's it running?
Pardon?
Do you remember what it was running? How much it cost?
Nah, I don't. I ain't even gonna hold you.
That's okay.
I didn't think it wasn't like egregiously like what, bitch. It was like okay, you know what I mean.
This is a regular price of a bong.
Yeah, pretty much, with maybe like a little extra on it. I would say because it's her brand. And I think these things are not like it's gonna be when it runs out. That's it. There's gonna be a new product, and you're not gonna be able to go. So like limited edition type stuff.
That's a brilliant plan though.
Yeah. So she has pre-rolls. Right now you can get pre-rolls of her strain. So the strain she developed, she said that she actually did the lab work and the research to develop and crossbreed and create this strain specifically with women's wellness in mind. I think she did just 2 strains, but I couldn't find the name of the other one. I'm actually excited. I already told my guy to be on the lookout for some of that Badu for me so that I could try it out and let y'all know what's up. But if anybody in the audience tries it out before me, I'm definitely want to hear your review. And that's been my spiel on hot topics.
Well, wait. So we talked about in the title, I said I was going to mention the hot strains of 2023, right?
Yeah, you go ahead. Get into it because I don't have no idea.
That's all right. Compliments of Leaf Lee, who tells me everything. Zope is a good strain. Zope looks like this. Yay, Zope. And Zope is a cross between Sunset Sherbet and OZ Kush Zittles and OG Kush. Okay.
They be just naming these strains. They be like, I don't know what to call it. I can't wait to go do that course, and I'm gonna name this. Yo, my strain gonna be hilarious.
Lemon cherry gelato. So that's why I asked you about your lemon cherry.
That might be it. That might be it.
Did it look like this? Okay.
It did. It had those white trichomes all over it. So yeah.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so it means more of the Runts variety of lemon cherry gelato. First crosses it off. The LA brand Backpack Boys drummed it up. Okay, whatever. This is the one I want to try. Jealousy and Friends.
That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I want to try that. Yeah. It says Jealousy rides a rocket into the stratosphere in 2023. Jealousy hybrids. Oh, Jealousy hybrids are already being pushed. Okay. All right. The next one is he got a whole video. Shit. I gotta watch the video. I'm just gonna show you straight. There we go.
It's purple. That looks purple.
It's a purple. Yeah, a lot of these are purps. Look at that.
Oh,
baby.
They know what I like.
Baby. Yeah, buddy.
They know what I like. That's beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's beautiful. And that one is
beautiful.
Yes, that one is beautiful. And that one is called that's Jealousy and Friends. I'm sorry. That was back to Jealousy and Friends. Okay. Goofies. I can go take Goofies.
We don't know. Some like you know what I'm noticing? Don't be fooled by
the color and everything. I know.
Yeah, because
and the size of the buds, man.
That thing be hitting.
So this is a runner-up between Runts and Jet Fuel Gelato. This is grapefruit zeshies. Grapefruit. I can't speak today. Grapefruit slushies.
It's because of the Z's. Slushies?
Yeah.
I mean, really?
Slushies. Yeah.
So I looked at my platinum lemon cherry. Sorry. It's not the same as lemon cherry gelato. It's platinum is different.
Okay. All right. All right. This one is a mix between Zittles and strawberry fritter. May actually be pretty good.
I had
Carbon
Zittles before.
fiber. Yeah. Carbon
Zittles
fiber.
is not bad.
It's not a bad strain.
Okay.
That's
Carbon fiber. That's an interesting
fiber.
name.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if I want to smoke something called carbon fiber.
And it uses like a cookies and cream parent. This is the Gary Payton and family.
I had cookies and cream before. That joint was good.
You had Gary Payton?
Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. Yes, I have had Gary Payton before.
Gary Payton and family?
Not in family, just the Gary Payton.
How was your Gary Payton?
It was decent. It was decent. Yeah. That was a while back though. So I don't know. And the only reason I remember it is because of the name. Because that's a basketball player, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then I remember I was talking about it with Kay, and he was like, "Yeah, that's a basketball." Because I don't know no damn stuff.
Wow. Okay.
Wow,
so
yourself. Okay. Wow, yourself.
And the snowman is mixed together.
You get on my nerves. Wow. I hate basketball, actually. Yeah, I said it. It's boring.
It's a fun game if you know it. If you can read the defense and all that.
If I'm going to rate the sports, it's going to be football, basketball, baseball. Baseball is last on my list. If you drag me to a baseball game, I need to be completely drunk and just so that I can heckle everybody. Other than that, I'm bored. I've been to mad baseball games too, because in New York, they had this thing where they used to give you Mets tickets, give your school Mets tickets, give whatever after school you were in. So I've been to mad stupid baseball games. I hate baseball. I hate it. So boring.
It's one of the safest sports for your kids to play if you choose them to play a sport. I don't like football.
And they get paid. They get paid well.
And they get paid very well. So yeah.
Professional baseball players, hell yeah, make that bread.
I told you. Pink Zerts is the next one. I showed y'all. Pink Zerts.
Yeah. Certs.
And grape gas.
Remember that candy?
Huh?
Remember certs? Those mints?
Oh, yeah. So this is a grape gas cross to the menthol. So that's probably why, because certs had a menthol-y.
Mm-hmm. What is that? It's a cross with what?
Let me go back. It's a cross with grape gas. grape gas crossed with the menthol. Probably has a good flavor. I want to try.
I hear Rocky in the back. I thought somebody was outside on my porch with a dog, and that's Rocky with his collar.
We gotta be able to track you, right?
Oh my god. I was confused for 2 seconds. Why is somebody
So that is all of the strains that we have. The new strains for 2023. Yep. All right.
So we just gonna get into it. Y'all about to get a full nerd out. So last week we were talking about being pregnant and nursing and using cannabis.
Yes.
And what a revolutionary choice it is. As a woman, especially as a woman of color, because we are in a more vulnerable position. We're in a position to have our children taken away from us for cannabis use. I think that's the biggest worry I think that we face and why a lot of Black women don't necessarily proudly reveal that they are weed moms or canna moms. So it's a daunting thing. It's a daunting thing. And I just want to do my part to help give you the courage to just be proud of the fact that you choose to do something for yourself, to take care of yourself and to show up for your baby as best you can. And if using cannabis helps you do that, then you have the right to do that. So let's first talk about, there's a study, and the fact that they have to make a study about this is just ridiculous. there is a study right now that and I think I talked about this last episode, but it's about why women are not, Black women specifically, are not telling their providers that they use cannabis. And what the doctors on the other side, the providers on the other side, are also, there's another side to this study, and it's showing that the providers are telling, more often than not, telling Black women or women of color to stop nursing if they are using cannabis, but they're not telling that to their white counterparts, right? And I find that telling, and I find that very interesting, because it speaks to a lot. It speaks a lot to.
It's offensive. It's offensive because it's telling you not to get the best care that you can, and to take care of yourself while you're going through this post traumatic stress, or that the
all the postpartum mood and perinatal mood disorders. You have you're right.
And so all these women going through postpartum that could probably just take a smoke and chill are now like stressing out. They don't want to be bothered, you know, and it just gets to a bad situation. Whereas these white mothers don't have to deal with that because they're like proudly telling you online with their face and their name, I smoke pot and I'm pregnant.
Exactly.
Fuck you.
Exactly.
And our people, we're like, if you're doing that, you better drink 3 gallons of water before you go deliver your baby so that you can make sure that everything's out of your system. Girl, drink a lot of Gatorade.
But that doesn't work anyways, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Sorry, so basically my point I was trying to make is that Malika, you are spot on. The shit is offensive as I don't know what. But the other side of it is that it speaks to how providers once again do not see the humanity in us, therefore they cannot access any empathy for us. These doctors these providers are operating from a space of empathy and compassion when they interact with these white women. They understand, oh yeah, I know how hard it can be. But that isn't the space they're coming from when they're, you know, talking to these mothers of color, and it doesn't matter if the mom is a lower income Black woman or greetings Empress, or a mom who's a professional woman with a 6-figure, 7-figure income, because you know
doctors are smoking it too.
That part
they're smoking it. And some of these doctors, they go into the OBGYN field, are women who have had children of their own, and they smoked it during their pregnancy, but they can't give us. I'm sorry. It frustrates me. Because it's just another form of discrimination.
We just started, Empress. We just started the conversation. We were talking about an article that I was reading during my research about how Black women and women of color are not reporting their cannabis use to their providers and the reasons why. And I feel like the fact that we have to have a study about that, you know what I mean? It's some bullshit. But
yeah,
you know, it is what it is. This is the world we live in. And that's what I was going to get into. So when I like to do my research to see if there's anything new before I ever talk about something. And so just going back and doing a little bit of Googling, I was down the rabbit hole and I was reading like study after study. And, you know, I feel like the parameters for the studies and where they gather the data to speculate about how things work, they're not considering.
That's the fact right there, and I was going to spit that out, Empress.
Empress. We definitely said that. We definitely talked about that.
Yeah,
that is the number one fear, and white women do not have to ever fear that fear
at all.
Okay, but we're not even gonna. I'm gonna try to stay on topic because I don't want to make it type of episode.
We got time.
But so I was trying to say that they're studying. I feel like they don't understand the nature of cannabis consumption, there's a whole bunch of factors that go into how it interacts in your body, how you ingest it, how you metabolize it, what's going to happen, all these, what state of mind you're in when you have cannabis. Because if you're in a state of psychosis, you should definitely not be partaking of any cannabis that has THC in it. You're gonna have a psychoactive experience, and that may mess your psychosis up even more, right? It's having intelligence and understanding how it's going to affect you. And I feel like I was reading a lot of this study. So specifically, we'll talk about the study on how, so most of the studies about how breast milk is how cannabis is metabolized in breast milk and what actual percentage goes into your child. Most of the studies were done on monkeys. Let's just go ahead and clarify that for the last 40 years. Most of the studies were done on monkey mamas.
They could have done it on white women. Shit. Well, I mean, if I'm being honest, they could have done them on other women that were probably out there smoking. They chose monkeys. Okay.
But here's the thing, right? Only 2%, let me be clear, not 2%, 0.2% of the THC that the monkey mamas ingested was actually found to be present in the breast milk, right? Mm-hmm. Now, then they wanted to go over and say, okay, it depends on if the mom is an occasional smoker or if she's a chronic smoker. Oh, excuse me. And I hate that they only specifically talk about cannabis in terms of smoking when there's other ways to consume it. But basically it's saying majority of cannabis policymakers and regulators have no cannabis. I agree. Yeah, I agree with you. 100% on that. But I was saying they keep, every time they have findings that are to the contrary of what they're trying to put forward, which is that cannabis use in pregnant women is fetotoxic. Fetotoxic means that it's dangerous to the fetus and can have detrimental effects, like the way that opioids affect the fetus or the way alcohol affects the fetus. Now, the findings come back that there is no fetotoxicity in cannabis use in pregnant women. They can't find it no matter. So now they're like, well, we only tested women who use cannabis occasionally. So the findings are still inconclusive. Right. Okay. But the current evidence in all the studies suggests that there is no detrimental effect to the fetus when you are consuming cannabis during pregnancy. Now, that isn't to say that the best way to consume it is smoking, because smoking while you're pregnant, period, is not good for you because it has a physiological effect on your body in that it raises your blood pressure, which is no good for you while you're pregnant. No. That's a no, because that leads to preeclampsia, that leads to preterm labor. You don't want to do that, right? So the takeaway for this particular part of the conversation of can we use cannabis while we are pregnant? The takeaway is yes. It's not harmful to your baby. No studies have found that it has a detrimental effect on your body. Should you smoke cannabis while you're pregnant? I'm gonna 100% say no. I don't think you should be smoking anything while you're pregnant, not because you can do whatever you want with your body, but it's like, come on, you can do whatever you want with your body, but are you doing something good with your body? You know what I'm saying?
And there are other ways to consume cannabis.
Exactly.
Hey, daughter of the Most High God.
Hey, daughter of the Most High God. Yay. So glad you joined us. I'm sorry about the noise, y'all.
Hey, that's life and.
Exactly. So just finding healthier ways to consume your cannabis while you're pregnant. And I'm going to definitely talk about nursing, but I just want to talk about pregnancy because it's different than nursing with cannabis use, right? So what are things that women who are pregnant could use cannabis to treat, right? Because I used it to treat my HG. So if anybody doesn't know what HG is, I had HG with my last son. HG is like a chronic, for lack of a better term, chronic morning sickness, but it's all day, every day. So you can't keep any food down. You can't keep any liquid down. You're constantly vomiting. It's the worst. I didn't gain
That's
any
one of the
weight.
pregnancies I didn't really see you through.
Yeah, you know it. And I was angry for the whole thing. And I didn't gain any weight because I wasn't eating and because I just felt terrible, right? The only time I got relief and the only times I could eat was when I had a cannabis infusion in the morning to begin my day, to set my digestive system into a place where I would be able to eat. And the days when I didn't, it was a mess. It was a mess. And if it wasn't for me having that resource of being able to use my cannabis to get me hungry, to, you know what I mean, activate my appetite, to calm the other things going down in my body, I wouldn't have eaten anything. I mean, there were days when I literally went without eating. And if you know what it's like to be basic hungry when you're pregnant, imagine going 2-3 days without eating because all you can do is vomit. Like, and that's where cannabis is a great tool, because there is no treatment for HG except in extreme cases they set you up with a damn IV. I don't have time to walk around with an IV, and I don't have time to go into an office every week for IV infusions, right? So cannabis right there. You can use cannabis to treat the disruptions of your hormones, because when you are pregnant, your hormones are going all over the place. It's a great way to help regulate your body and help you to really hone in on like how you're feeling, what's going on. You know what I mean? It's a great way. It's a great tool to help you to stay present. CBD helps with inflammation and swelling. CBN, reparative to the cells. Excuse me, not CBN, CBG, reparative to your cells in your brain, because your brain is changing while you're pregnant. It becomes, by the time your baby's born, it becomes a different brain than it was before you had your pregnancy. Thank you, daughter of the Most High. And that's just a few things that few elements. I don't really like to call them elements because like it's just a part of being pregnant, but a few parts of being pregnant where cannabis could be really beneficial to you, right? On a postpartum side, a lot of women suffer from perinatal mood disorders, right? So that's not just depression, that's OCD. OCD is obsessive thoughts. It's not just counting or doing movements with your fingers. Obsessive thoughts. Some women have invasive obsessive thoughts about harming their children. That's a part of OCD, and it's not something that they can control, right? Some women have, because there's a difference between baby blues and depression. Some women have mania after they have their child, and that's where they just don't sleep, right? We go through a lot as women.
With my daughter, I didn't sleep. I was up most of the night because I wanted to make sure she was alive.
Exactly. And that's how the mania gets you. At first, you're like, oh, I'm anxious. Are they breathing? Are they breathing? Next thing you know, it's been 3 days since you slept, and you ready to just lose your damn mind. You on the vapors. You know what I mean? Like, and that's where cannabis, a nice CBN tincture infused with a little lavender, a little valerian, knock you the hell out. Okay. And yes, a little bit of that may go into your breast milk. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Cannabis and nursing, right? Yeah. Everybody's like, oh, don't do it. Don't do it. So in the layaway, right? Everything that we absorb into our body. So let's say you take aspirin. Let's say you take codeine. Let's say you take Percocet. Let's say any of these things that you take, right? They go into your breast milk as well. All of it goes into your breast milk, because blood and milk and breast milk are pretty much made of the same things. They're just different in the way that they're presented, right? So these things are present in your body. So I just want you to sit with that. Sit with that. Every single thing that you put in your body, including alcohol, including chemicals, including everything, is found in your breast milk. So we're not gonna go with the fear mongering of, oh, it's in the breast milk and the baby's getting it and oh, they're getting high, because that's incorrect. That's incorrect. So let's break down the numbers, right? In any studies show that in any cannabis infusion, smoke, flower, whatever, however you consume it, the maximum availability of these cannabinoids, so that's called bioavailability. It speaks to what your body's going to absorb and how your body's going to process it, right? Mm-hmm. You only get 30%. That is the max that your body can receive at any given time. 30%. All right? So let's say you had an edible that was 100 milligrams. Your body is only getting 30 milligrams of that THC that will be available to you. The rest is gone. Okay? Let's break that down. So you got 100 milligrams of, as a mama, you like, dang, I'm done. I'm tired. I just want to relax. I'm just going to eat this whole 100 milligram cookie, right? So you eat the cookie, bong. Yeah, I looked up her study as well, Empress. I did. I went and read her study and read some other people's who branched off of her study. And we're definitely going to talk about yeah, and I was going to tell you that her name was Melanina Carroll. So 30%. So now you got 30% in your body, right? Bang. The 30% breaks down because only 2.5% of that 30% goes into your milk. So what is present in your baby is 0.75 milligrams of THC after you've had your little edible. So if you want, and that doesn't have a psychoactive effect because that's basically a little higher than craft hemp. Okay. Which is like craft hemp is not technically legal because it's over the THC rate of industrial hemp, which is 0.03 something. I can't remember the number, but it's really low. Mm-hmm. And the amount present in your baby is a little higher than that when you're nursing, if you choose to nurse. While you actually consume, because then there's another factor. Let's say mama consumed that chocolate bar and she's sober again, right? The amount of THC present in the milk is going to go down even more. Some professionals even tell you, like some professionals in the industry who understand how cannabis works in the body, actually encourage moms to pump and dump if they're really worried about their child having some type of psychoactive effect. Yeah. They encourage you, okay, you ate an edible, pump it, dump it, and if that's your choice, you know what I mean? If you feel worried about your child having cannabis in their system at that high of a level, right? You can definitely pump and dump. That's your option. It works. It works supposedly. I've never tried it, but it's supposed to work if you're in the middle of an experience with your cannabis and your breasts are full and you don't want that baby to have that milk. You're welcome to pump and dump. But also you could just go through the high, metabolize it, and move on with your life. Because you're what people don't know is like it's not stored in your breast. Like your breast is producing new milk all the time, depending upon what your baby needs, depending upon, you could literally squeeze a little out and then something new is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So like there have been times where I went out with my friends, didn't have time to pump and dump, had a drink. By the time I got home, I was sober. I nursed my baby. She was fine. Had no effect. Went to play, you know what I'm saying? So it just, I feel like they need more research because they don't understand how mothers work, apparently. You know what I'm saying? They just think you're sitting around with a bong in your hand, nursing your baby at the same time. You
can't hold the bong in the baby.
But you know what I'm saying?
That little jumper twinkling.
Does it go down or stay the same whether you feed directly from the breast or bottle feed? I ask because not all mothers breastfeed directly from the breast. That's a good question. It didn't go down because they had to take it from the breast, set it out, and sample it. That's how they get the sample. So, it doesn't, it's not it's not inside the breast when they get the sample. So they have to test it outside. It would be tested outside. Like, there's no way for you to know what's happening with the milk inside the baby's mouth. You have to test it outside. So yes, the cannabis is present in the milk when they test it outside of it going directly to yeah, drinks sneak up on you. You just got to find the right, you have to find the right blend that works for you. And when I say blend, I'm talking about the right blend of cannabinoids. I talk about this a lot. It's called the entourage effect. And it's something that happens with the cannabis plant when you use the whole plant, not just isolating THC or CBD or CBN or CBG. It's when you have all the cannabinoids coming together, or even two of the cannabinoids coming together, they create a really great harmony with your ECS, and together they do a really great job. Like, all right, as an example, because I like to talk about CBD and THC a lot, because I think they're just best friends. They're sisters. They're brothers and sisters. For the purpose of this show, they're the original Cypher sisters, right? THC and CBD. And they complement each other so well, because you have your THC, right? A lot of people complain about paranoia, anxiety, all of that stuff. But when you add a little CBD to your THC, the paranoia and anxiety very much goes down and even subsides for most people. I would say for me, it does. It actually improved my consumption experience once I started mingling the cannabinoids and having them just get down in my body together. Because we also have our own cannabinoids in our body, in our ECS system, which is our endocannabinoid system. And I definitely nerded out on y'all about that last season, and maybe next week I'll go into it. But I see a comment from Empress. There is no scientific evidence showing negative effects of cannabinoids on a fetus or infants. I agree, Empress. Although some studies did show delayed motor function. However, I felt like there was other factors that contributed to the delayed motor function in those 1-year-olds, and that the study still wasn't a culturally competent study. And so I really just didn't want to focus on that study. So I agree with you. I agree. Yep. Yes. She said our environments leach out more toxins to a fetus than a mom consuming cannabis to ease nausea. Absolutely. Just the vaccinations a baby receives at birth.
Yeah.
Okay. The first shot they get is called a vitamin K shot. They say it's to prevent clotting. To help with clotting so the baby doesn't bleed out, right? Because of how rough their birthing experience is in a hospital. They very much handle those babies very roughly when they're coming out. So, depending upon your birth, if you're not crowning, if whatever, sometimes they use those forceps, so they implemented the vitamin K shot to stave off internal bleeding, but our bodies can naturally, acclimate, and if we give it a chance. So I don't know. I'm not necessarily, I'm on the fence about the vitamin K, but it can be detrimental to the child, because if there is something going on, the vitamin K shot you won't even know, because it may negate what you need to know about what's going on with your baby. Empress said, just think about it. Even the prescribed medications can be more toxic than cannabis. Yep. Did they ever think cannabis would be used to decrease epileptic seizures? Exactly. Yep. The reason they know now is because of Charlotte and her parents for Charlotte's Web. That's very true. That's very true. I can't see I don't know what the rest of the comment said. What's after determine the E?
There isn't anything.
Oh, okay.
And so let's jump back really quick because Daughter in the Most High God said, "Have you tried the drinks?" Yes, we all tried the drinks.
I did. I answered her.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And it does sound like fire, fire, fire. I want to try that. And then Empress also says, yes, combining the cannabinoids are useful in mitigating the psychotropic effects. Those studies do not take into account other factors that could affect the development of a young fetus.
Yeah, I agree. And that's what I was saying. Like environmental factors, a lot of things play a role in the things that they are quantifying and qualifying, but they're not considering those factors. The main focus is on cannabis, and it's like you're focusing on the wrong thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, doing studies on animals. I agree, but that again, that was over
I raised the point earlier. Like
yeah, and that was for the past 40 years. You know what I mean? I think they stopped. Like the most recent studies within the 2000s have been on women. Unfortunately, they're not Black. Yeah. Most of the common archetypal users who are participating in these studies are once again not Black people.
Because they choose to speak up because it's a safer place for them to speak up.
And yes, Empress, I agree. Most of the cultures, except for Europeans, women have been using cannabis post-pregnancy. Absolutely. Teas, poultices, suppositories, you name it. Steams. Yeah. Yep.
Facts.
Yeah, exactly. They have to be in control in some way. It's always going to be that. It's always going to be that prohibition of our bodies.
Yeah.
Prohibition of our sovereignty. It's not going to change. And so I'm curious, you guys. Last week I talked about something because we're almost coming to an end, but I wanted to talk about this again because I laughed my butt off.
What?
So, because remember we were talking about CUD, cannabis use disorder.
Yes.
So I looked it up because I needed a good laugh. Y'all want to know what it is?
What is it?
Cool. I'm about to read it to you. It was too long for me to write it out, so I had to look that one up.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
That is such a DC term, jump.
CUD, right?
No,
it's so rude. It's so rude if you ask me, but where's my here we go. Screenshot. There we go. All right, y'all. So one study estimated that 3 in 10 people who use cannabis suffer from cannabis use disorder. So cannabis use disorder is using more cannabis than intended, trying but failing to quit using cannabis, spending a lot of time using cannabis, craving cannabis. They use marijuana, but I refuse to use that. Craving cannabis. Using cannabis, even though it causes problems at home and school and work. Continuing to use cannabis. It's a real study. I'm gonna tell you the doctor's name.
Who paid for this shit?
Hold on. I gotta finish.
I'm sorry. Keep going.
Oh my God. Continuing to use cannabis despite social or relationship problems.
Lord have mercy.
Giving up important activities with friends and family in favor of using cannabis. When has this ever happened to me? I don't know.
My best times have been using cannabis with friends and
okay, using cannabis in high situations, such as driving a car. Continuing to use cannabis despite physical and psychological problems. Needing to use more cannabis to get the same high.
Ooh.
Experiencing withdrawal symptoms when stopping cannabis use. And that is cannabis use disorder. So what's up, y'all? Anybody in the audience?
So Empress says they're writing about alcohol, not cannabis use, not use.
I agree with you, Empress, but the study literally is called what is this?
Cannabis use disorder.
Because this study was done by the CDC, and that's how, and they defined it by those parameters.
The CDC is run by the government, and the federal government has not yet allowed for cannabis use. They're still busting people.
I just thought it was hilarious because I'm like, who's missing social events and things with their family so they could go get high?
Usually you get high with your family when you're there.
Thank you.
There's like 2 or 3
There's
somebody that smokes in the joint.
This was giving 90s after school special. You remember that one? I learned it from watching you, Dad.
Yeah, my TV exposure was Nancy Reagan with Just Say
No. God. It's like it's fear mongering and it's just reefer madness at a whole new level. Because the only thing on there that I saw that was something was like, okay, you need to have more to get the same high. Yeah, it's called you have a higher tolerance.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Higher tolerance.
And all you got to do is take a tolerance break, and it's 3 days. 3 days and you gooch.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know about that.
Yeah. And it's not like we can't stop whenever we want to.
Exactly.
Because it's not
we want to. Be honest. I don't
really want to. I like that.
That's what I
say. A lot of I can go out now in the public and I'm not afraid that somebody's got a bomb strapped to them. You know what I mean? Like shit changed for me. So like it helps. It definitely helps.
Exactly. People who suffer from severe anxiety, you know what I'm saying? It to help to keep your central nervous system at a space where it's telling your body that you are not, and your brain that you're not in danger, so you could chill the F out. Yeah. Okay.
Facts.
Yes, Empress. Yes, I spoke about that last week. I said that it had no detrimental effects on me whatsoever.
Or me.
You know what I'm saying? Hello.
Yeah.
Look at me. I already said that.
We're fucking fabulous.
That's right.
What you mean?
Okay.
That's compliments of you, Mom.
All right. Come on now. You was getting things done. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
and she's still doing it. She's doing amazing shit.
It's not for it's not for people. It isn't that type of, and for me, it's like Adderall's okay, but not cannabis. Are y'all kidding me? Are you kidding me? Adderall to treat people with ADHD, but not cannabis? Cut it out.
Yeah, for real.
Cut it out. Okay. Have you ever seen? I was looking at taking Adderall for myself at one point in my life.
Don't do it.
I know. I said no. I already decided that was a no for me. I did some research. But what I'm saying is that like the pharmacology and the big pharma, we so quick to just like buy into that as a society.
That bullshit. Yeah.
You know, and then shit on the things that Eastern actually
medicine. Yeah. It's Western medicine versus Eastern medicine.
And it's disgusting and annoying. But on to another thing. We're just gonna quit because we're about to close because the show's almost over. The hour's almost up. But so we made these little bags and they're for sale. We unfortunately we have to sell them for 20 because we have to pay for the shipping and the taxes. But it's a really cute bag, and all of the funds are going to Malika and I getting some better equipment for the show and to bring out a better experience. So you can send the money via Cash App. Again, it's $20. And we would love for you to support. Oh, thank you, Samala. Thank you. Thank you. Because it is the sisterhood for us. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the sisterhood. And with that being said, in honor of International Day of the Woman, I wanted to share something really great that Malika and I are going to be doing this month in honor of Women's History Month. We're starting it this month. The last Friday of the month, we're hosting a virtual Cypher wind down. So basically, we are gonna watch a movie and kiki in the chat. And you're gonna bring your favorite wine or favorite beverage that isn't alcoholic if you don't want it, and definitely your favorite strain. Bring your girls, and we're gonna choose a movie. I'm gonna put a poll up in our. We'll put it in the chat next week, and we'll put it. It's both. However you want to put it. Whatever you want to wind down or wind down, whatever you want to put it.
However you want to wind it.
It's to relax. It's in a spirit of sisterhood. It's in the spirit of just getting together and having a good time. Outside of all the shit that we have going on in our lives, it's just a safe space. Bring your girls, your virtual girls. This is for the sisters and women who have sisters and friends who aren't necessarily in the same state as them, but they miss them.
Yeah.
So come join it. Join the Cypher. Join the wind down. We're probably gonna, for now, I was thinking 13 going on 30, but if y'all have any movies that y'all want to have in mind, it's laughs only. We trying to do laughs. We trying to kiki. We trying to just have a good time.
So the purple don't work, huh?
Hell no. I don't want to watch Color Purple. Cut that out. It's not that kind of wind down, y'all. It's jokes and light spirit. It's for the joy. You know what I'm saying?
In a Red Man's movie,
this was inspired by a group chat that me and my sisters have. I'm not going to tell you what it's called, but in the chat, we're not allowed to talk about our kids. We're not allowed to talk about our husbands. It's just straight up like us as women, as you know what I mean? Like sometimes you get caught up in your role self. Does anybody know what a role self is? Just really quickly, your role self is like how you present yourself in the world based on everyone's perception of you. So your role as a daughter, your role as a mother, your role as a wife, your role as a sister, your role as a friend. All of those come an amalgamation and make you into the person that you are. But inside of that is your ideal self, right? So that's who you are to yourself, the person that you are constantly trying to project, even though the role self keeps on trying to, you finding that harmony to make sure that your ideal self shines forward. And so my ideal self is always present in that chat with my sisters. And I wanted to bring that idea forward for everyone to have a space where you're not a mom, you're not a wife, you're not a daughter, you're just a woman who's a sister and a friend. Right? So I'll have more information as far as date and time next week, but save the date as in the last Friday of the month on this March at, we'll say 9 p.m. to make it easy for everybody, because it's real chill, silky pajamas, kicking it type vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's not a big deal. You can check in and out. Just come through, spread the love, spread the jokes, and
it's actually the literally end of the month. March 31st falls on a Friday.
Perfect. Yep. Thank you, Malika. So March 31st, 9 p.m. Save the date. We about to wind down in the Sister Cypher. I love you guys, and I really appreciate you all for showing up and showing out for us once again.
Yes.
Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and don't forget to
subscribe.
That's right. And don't forget to get your bag. All right.
All right.
Love
Until
y'all.
next time, y'all. Take care.
Oh, shoot. My goodness, y'all. Real quick, before I go, I'm going to be on myself and Malika. She may not be available, but we're going to be on Empress's Clubhouse, the Cannabis Healing of the Nations, and that's the last Wednesday of this month, which is, if I'm not mistaken, March 20th. At 8 p.m. I know that 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. And we're gonna just be talking about women in cannabis, y'all. Which, that's all we talk about here too.
What day did you say it was?
Oh no, she said the 29th. My bad, y'all.
I'm looking at it now. Yeah, I'm like,
that's the 29th. My bad. 29th, Wednesday, March 29th, 8 p.m. on Clubhouse. The room is called Cannabis, the Healing of the Nation. And we look forward to you guys being there. All right. Have a beautiful week. Shalom in your heart and home.
Take care, everybody. Good night. Or good morning. Good day.